If you're a clinic owner looking to get more traffic to your website and improve your online presence, then you're in the right place. On the Propel Your Practice podcast, we provide chiropractors, physical therapists, and other clinic owners with actionable digital marketing strategies, including local SEO and effective website best practices. You'll learn simple and actionable solutions to help your clinic rank on Google and beat your competition. Together, let's propel your practice. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Propel Your Practice podcast. I'm your host, Darcy Sullivan with Propel Marketing and Design. Today, we're talking about the right ways to incorporate videos into your website. We're going to go over how video helps your website, SEO, search engine optimization, and your overall online presence. We'll talk about 10 ways you can use video on your website. I'm going to give you examples of how and where to use both short videos and long videos. We'll also go over some video blunders. These are common mishaps we see when it comes to clinic owners using videos on their websites. The examples that are going to be given in this episode are for healthcare organizations like chiropractors, physical therapists, acupuncturists, physiotherapists, and other clinic owners. If you are a clinic owner, I think you're going to find true value in this. If you're not a clinic owner, keep on listening. I really think you'll also find some insight. In fact, over the past few weeks, I've had 5 people write in asking about the questions that I've included in this episode. What I've tried to do is group all of the questions together into one episode, which reminds me, if you have any questions about SEO, content marketing, or how to improve your website, be sure to send them in via Instagram. You can find us at Propel Your Company. So let's start with the understanding of how adding video to your website can help your SEO and the right way to go about doing it. First of all, adding video to your website can help you with search engine optimization and search engine visibility. Google loves video, so you should too. Search engines love it when you include high-value videos on your website. Video content can be a powerhouse for improving your website's SEO. One of the main reasons for this is that it increases your search engine visibility. Again, Google, as well as other search engines, love video and place a high value on video content, and they are more likely to show it in search results. Video benefits SEO both directly and indirectly. Think about this. Google owns YouTube. Don't you think that Google wants to showcase content on YouTube? Yes, it does. So we'll be talking about in a couple minutes why there's such power in uploading your videos to YouTube and then showcasing them on your website. See, this means that not only your video content itself will be prioritized in the search engines like Google, but it will also positively impact the elements on your website. Because again, remember, YouTube is owned by Google. So of course, Google would be more likely to provide search engine result pages that point back to its own video hosting platform. So we always want to upload the video to YouTube first. Then we embed the video from YouTube onto the website to increase visibility. A few big blunders that we see here when it comes to loading what video is people loading the video directly to their websites. What this is going to do is, one, slow down your website dramatically, but it's also giving you the missed opportunity of loading it to YouTube. So what we want to do is load it to YouTube and then embed it on our website. Now, we're not going to be able to go into detail on this episode about how to optimize videos for SEO on YouTube. We'll save that for another episode. But because I don't want to leave you hanging, be sure to check out the show notes for this episode, where I will include a link to grab our YouTube SEO guide. So again, be sure to check out the show notes for that resource. But again, when you load the video to YouTube, you want to follow best SEO practices, and you can grab that guide to guide you along. But we want to make sure that we're naming it properly, that we're giving it a description, and doing these basic steps of starting from scratch and optimizing the video is going to give you a better online position. So the approach not only ensures optimal video performance, but it also allows you to organize your videos effectively. And you can do this by grouping them into playlists on YouTube. And this will help you guide your viewers through curated video experiences. Now, keep listening, because later on we're going to talk about the power of these playlists and why they're so important. So another element of why and how videos on your website help with SEO is they create a better user experience. User experience is the experience that your website user has when they come to your website. One way it does this is if you have amazing video and people go to your website and they push play on that video, they're going to spend more time on your website. We call this dwell time, how long somebody dwells or stays on your website. This is a direct indicator to Google and those other search engines that you are, in fact, an authority figure, and that your website provides content that people love. Therefore, Google and the other search engines will be more likely to serve up your website when people are searching for related keyword terms. Now, it also helps create that know, like, and trust factor. Plus, it's easy to use, right? We have such short attention spans these days, and being able to press play is one easy way for people to get to know your content. So let's go over a couple of the do's and the don'ts. We already talked about to be sure to embed your video from YouTube, not load it directly to your website. We want to make sure that you don't have autoplay on. And think about this. What if I am sitting at a cubicle and I am going to a chiropractor's website because I need to book an appointment, or I'm searching for a chiropractor near me, and I see a video, but it's on autoplay, and all of a sudden you hear the music or the people talking, and you're not even supposed to be searching outside of work-related items, right? So we do not want to have autoplay on. We also want to be sure that we have taken into consideration our target audience, meaning, in the example I just gave, let's just say you're a chiropractor, and that for the most part, when people come to see you for the first time, they have back pain, neck pain, headaches. Okay, let's talk about headaches for a minute. If somebody is coming to your website and they have a headache, we do not want to make that headache worse. I've many a time seen clinic websites where they're showcasing video in the hero section on their homepage, and there's all this fast, crazy movement. And all of a sudden, if you have a headache, you just made it worse. If your goal is to make somebody feel better, you don't want to make them feel worse by seeing crazy video playing on your website. So keep that in mind. And like I said, we're going to go over some specific ways you can use you can use video on your website, but we do also want to keep in mind ways that you should not. Okay, are you ready? Let's dive in. The first example is to create a general introduction or a meet the company video. This type of video can go on your homepage or on your about page. It could also go on what I would call a general services page. Now, when we talk about using video on your website, I'm going to give you these examples, but keep in mind, you can take one video and use it in multiple locations. In the example that I just gave, again, it might make sense for a company or an introduction video to be in more locations than just on one page. But in general, your introduction or your meet the company video usually ends up on your homepage or on your about page. As I mentioned before, typically I do not suggest that you put it in the hero section of your homepage. That's on the top of your homepage, what we call above the fold. I would move that video down below that section. Again, that gives you the opportunity, as soon as somebody lands on your website, they see the text before they push play to know that they're in the right place and that your offering matches what they're searching for. Now, number two, the second way, I've got a couple different ways that you can incorporate this. And this is to create a video library. Now, what we don't want to do with this is go overboard and put 40 videos on one page. That's too much. So a couple examples that you could do for this. Remember how we talked about earlier where you had created playlists on your YouTube channel? What you could then do is group your videos. So let's go to that example of a chiropractor. Maybe you have a playlist about stretches for back pain. Maybe you have a playlist about stretches for your neck. Maybe you have a playlist about stretches before running. And what you could do is take one of those key videos and mention that it's in the video series and then just include links to the other videos. So you would only really embed one video per series. Or what we've done before is we've taken some of the most popular videos and embedded those, and then for other videos, just included links directly to the YouTube videos. Again, this is just another way that you can incorporate video on your website. Next up, example 3, you could showcase a specific service or technique. And this would go on that specific service or technique page. For example, let's say you wanted to showcase dry needling. Then that would make sense to go on your specific dry needling page. Now, what's important to note is that as much as we love video, you can't assume that somebody is going to push play. And I'll give the example. I was interviewed on an animal chiropractic podcast, and we were talking about some specific procedures and how someone had made a video for making sure that the vet had provided the right paperwork for somebody to be able to visit the animal chiropractor. And the assumption by the chiropractor was that they made this amazing video so people would just push play and watch it. But people aren't always going to take that action. So we do want to make sure that we include text around specific videos to give them context so that people know what they include. So we wouldn't just have a page on your website that just has a video. There's no specific value add for that. And it's going to be really hard for Google to rank that specific page. So in the example that we gave about a specific service or technique, let's say dry needling, for a chiropractor, you would still have information about what dry needling is in the text, what it cures or what you use it, what pains you use it to relieve, and more details about it. You wouldn't just embed that video. One thing that I also want to mention is that we want to keep in mind that a lot of people will be viewing the videos on their phone. Sometimes when you embed a video from YouTube, the formatting might not look correct. So you want to make sure that before you push publish on a page or a blog post that includes video, that you look at it on multiple devices, including your phone, to make sure that it displays properly. If you're using WordPress, sometimes you might need to add in another plugin to help format the video to make sure that it does display correctly on your phone. Okay, next up. I love this one. Actually, I love this one so much that we did a free training a while back. It was a limited time training that if you signed up, you got to watch it, and then we included it in a bonus in our Ready, Set, Rank program. And that is to take one video and to turn it into a blog post. And there's a specific format that we kind of walk through with that, where you're pulling key elements out and you're giving information and, again, context around the video, and then including the transcript below it. This process has worked really well for a lot of clinic owners that I know. And again, if you're a member of our DIY program, Ready, Set, Rank, you'll find that under the blogging section. It's called How to Turn a Simple Video into an SEO-Friendly Blog Post. And if you are not a member of that program and you're interested in learning more, you can visit propelyourcompany.com and look for Ready, Set, Rank, or send in any questions you have about that. But in that process, what we're doing is we're taking one single video and we're not just plopping it into a blog post. We're including content around it to create a really amazing blog post that, again, also includes your video. Okay, number 5, it's a spinoff of the last one, and that's to combine multiple videos into one single blog post. In that free training that I mentioned that bonus training, I guess you would call it now, that I mentioned in the last one, we also went through this process. So if you do have access to that video, we talk about how to do this. But it's to combine multiple videos into one blog post. And for this, I would suggest maybe 3 to 4 videos, really no more than 5. And an example of this might be 3 stretches for fill in the blank, right? So then maybe you've got a stretch for each one. 3 stretches to prepare for the best run of your life. And then in this, you would do an introduction. You would, again, have context around the videos. In this example, you don't need to include a transcript because hopefully you're going into enough detail that you're really creating a robust blog post that has enough text on it. And again, it's highlighting those 3 videos. So in this example, you would do an introduction, and then you would be like number 1, and you would embed that video, give some description with it. Number 2, embed that video, description. 3, embed that video, description, and then do a conclusion with a call to action. We did really one of my favorite podcasts because I think it's really important is the podcast episode, and I don't remember the number, but I'll include it in the show notes, was the anatomy of an SEO friendly blog post, or is called something similar to that. Again, we'll include that in the show notes, but that's a really great resource if you're looking to do a multiple video blog post. Check that one out. Or the example before, this single blog post, it still gives you the great format for how to put together a blog post like that. Okay, number 6, testimonials. We love testimonials. Now, I usually suggest that you don't just create a testimonials page and plop all your testimonials on there. Again, context is key, my friend. So with testimonials, consider what the testimonial is about and then put it on the proper page. So if it's a testimonial about a specific service, it should go on that specific services page. If it's a testimonial about a specific condition, it should go on that specific condition page. Okay, next up, number 7. This one isn't necessarily SEO friendly, but I think you'll like it. You ready? Use videos as a lead magnet. In this example, maybe somebody goes to your website and they sign up for a series, right? It could be about, again, let's go back to that running example. Maybe you're in an area where people are preparing for a marathon and you want to send them a series of emails that include links to videos all about preparing for the marathon in a way that's going to help them make sure that they stretch properly and that they're prepared in a way that also highlights the services that you offer. So what could you do? Well, they sign up for this email series and you send them a series of videos. So again, this is including video, one way to integrate video on your website, but you don't necessarily even need to have the videos embedded on your website and those be links that you send in the email blast. You could just send them to directly to your YouTube page, depending on how much text support you have. But again, you could embed those on your website and send them there. Also, the same thing could be done if you hosted a webinar and you wanted to capture leads on demand for that webinar. Okay, next up, you could interview a team member. This would be great for the About page, is to have little video interviews for specific individuals that you wanted highlighted on your website. If you feel like you are not ready for any of the solutions that we already suggested for ways to include video on your website, I'm going to give you 2 more examples. Okay, here we go. First one, if you have YouTube videos, but you're not ready to embed them on your website, what you could do is in the top menu of your website, you could have a tab or a drop-down tab under resources that says videos that links to your YouTube channel. If you decide to do this, please, please, please have it open up in a new window. Again, this isn't a perfect way because of the fact that it isn't helping with people staying on your website watching your videos, but I did want to give some examples for people who aren't ready to include some of the other examples we mentioned. And lastly, I have a final example, and this is to leverage promotional content provided by others. And I'm going to give you 2 examples of this. And again, this is like pushing the easy button, right? So for example, if you're a chiropractor and you have a package with Chiro Up and there are videos that they provide that you want to embed on your website. Or another example, here we'll still stick with a chiropractor. Let's say you just started incorporating Shockwave and they sent you over a promotional video. You could embed that on that specific page. So now, when it comes to using promotional content or content provided by others, of course, you don't want to use anything that your direct competition provides, meaning that you're not going to your direct competitors' YouTube channel and taking one of their stretch videos or exercise videos and including it on your website. I think that's kind of obvious. But there you have it. And you can see how some of those videos would be short, some would be long, so you can use both short format and long format when it comes to videos. Some other notes before we wrap up, you can, again, use same video in multiple locations as long as it does add value. Make sure that your videos are not on autoplay. In most cases, we absolutely want to make sure that we provide context and that there is text around the video to help with SEO. And we want to make sure that the videos showcase correctly on mobile. If you have any questions, we would love to hear from you. You can reach out and find us on Instagram at Propel Your Company. Well, hey, we're going to head out shortly, but before we do, I would love to share with you a brand new free webinar that I just put together called Patient-Driven SEO for Clinic Owners. 3 simple steps to attract more patients online without spending 1 cent on ads. You can find this by visiting propelyourcompany.com/learn. In this free training, you will learn what SEO is, how to improve your rankings in the map section of Google, the number 1 thing you can do today to improve your website performance, which takes less than 10 minutes, why SEO has such a huge impact on your company's bottom line and how to leverage it to get more leads, where to focus your efforts online for maximum results, along with how to integrate the latest in AI to simplify the whole process. Again, you can sign up for that webinar by visiting propelyourcompany.com/learn.